Now, today we are going to conduct some non-destructive testing on concrete. Till date, whatever tests you have done on concrete, those were destructive. That means cube you have tested, but that cube was cracked, cube was compressed, cube was failed under compression. So that was destruction. But here, sometimes we are supposed to take measurements or quality measurements of existing concrete, existing member without disturbing them. For example, compressive strength or quality of concrete of beam, column or footing, any RCC member, any concrete member. So for these, there are two non-destructive tests we are going to perform. First is rebound hammer test, or it is also called Schmid hammer test, and second ultrasonic pulse velocity test, that is UPV test. So first we are going to perform this rebound hammer test. So I will give you just brief idea. Now idea behind this or concept behind this rebound hammer is that hardness of the surface. How hard surface is, because in that rebound hammer there is an elastic mass, spring loaded elastic mass, and it is making impact on the surface of the concrete. So harder the surface, most rebound will be there, more rebound. So just like I generally give you example that if there are two pitches, one is earthen pitch and another is concrete pitch, and you are just striking one ball, say tennis ball, and you are throwing it with speed, so on which it will rebound more? Obviously on concrete, because earthen mass or earthen pitch is softer one and concrete is harder one. So this depends upon hardness. So as concrete is hard, the bounce of that tennis ball, it was more. So same principle is used here in this rebound hammer. So in rebound hammer, generally there is a mass, spring loaded mass, and that mass makes impact on the surface. And if surface is hard, definitely the rebound will be more, and that's why it is called rebound value. So indirectly it is giving us quality of concrete. Directly it is not giving compressive strength. But Indian Standard Code has given some specification for rebound hammer test, that if value is this much, then it is good, it is acceptable. If value is less than that, it is not acceptable. Like that. So we are going to use this rebound hammer, or here you can say Schmid hammer. Now this is Swiss made equipment, and generally in European countries it is called Schmid test. Here in India we are called, it is rebound hammer test. So this is rebound hammer, but it is also called Schmid hammer test. Don't get confused, it is one and same. So I will just you can see this is the rebound hammer, right? Can you see here? So this is the main body, or it is called casing, right? Inside this there is a spring loaded mass which can be coming out. If I am pressing this, this will be coming out, and again I am going to make it, I will press it on the column or concrete member. So you can see there is a scale. Can you see? Measuring form 10, 20, 30, 40, see the list count, and on that you have to measure this rebound hammer. At present whatever is showing, it is almost about 30. So it is rebound value is 30. How to interpret, that is another part. So it is 30. Similarly, you can see there is a graph here, right? Graph of what is written here? This is rebound value, and here it is compressive strength equivalent to 150 by 150 by 150 mm cube. So indirectly we are calculating compressive strength. So you can see three graphs, 1, 2, 3. It is depending on how you are holding the rebound hammer. Now I am holding perpendicular to the surface. This is a concrete surface. So I have to use this middle graph, and corresponding rebound value and strength I am going to calculate. If I am going to put it like this, that means vertically. Suppose I am supposed to take any action or quality checking of slab or beam bottom, so it will be like this. So in that case, this figure you have to use, because this is vertically upwards, or suppose vertically downward I have to tell, right? Member is here and vertically downward I am taking. So again you can see there is a third graph. which is vertically downward. So how you are holding this graph on that base, you have to select either this or this or this, but we are going to measure horizontal surface quality. Okay, so let us go to one column. You carefully observe that what I am doing. Now this is the column, concrete column we are going to measure. Actually basic rule is that this is plastered surface, so this is to be broken, and whatever exposed concrete or bare concrete surface, that is to be made open, and that is to be rubbed by this emery stone. This is emery stone, and this concrete surface is to be smoothened. This is for smoothing. So wherever you are going to take it, it will be smoothened. Now one thing is there, that is you cannot take only at one point, because suppose I am testing it here, and here there is, suppose there is a stirrup right inside it, so it will definitely give high value. Or immediately below that there is a strong big coarse aggregate piece, it will give high value. Suppose I am testing here, then there may be some void and it will show very less value. So this is not acceptable. So in order to reduce this chances of error, it is recommended that on this entire column you have to take 12 reading. How many? 12 reading, and average of those 12 you have to take, and you have to find out average rebound value, and then correspondingly with graph and all these things we are going to calculate. Okay, so assume that this is the concrete surface and I am everywhere I am smoothing. Actually it is very smooth, and this plaster is as good as concrete. So this is very strong plaster. Even we try to remove this plaster, it is not removing. So very strong plaster, so you can consider it as concrete surface itself. Okay, so you just carefully observe. Now here there is a release pin, you can see, and how I am operating. This is very important. This is very important. Okay, what I am doing now, just I am not taking any reading, just I am showing how to unlock and lock. Now I am unlocking this by pressing. This is unlocked. Right, now what I am going to do, I will press this. There will be a rebound of that mass on this hard surface. It will bounce back, and then I will lock it. Right now I am not going to take any reading. I will just show how the locking is to be done. You have to learn this. Okay, I am pressing this, I am holding, pressing this and pulling back. It is locked. So this is the way how to take reading. So likewise we will take 12 reading. Okay, so now we will start taking reading. Now this is our column, and on this column average we have to take off 12 reading. So I will take 4 on this face, 4 on this, and 4 on this, and 4 on this, like so 4 each, and at various places, bottom, here, here, so that any stirrup will be there, it will be more reading. Here void is there, it will be less. And remember, it is not to be taken near cover. Right, cover is there. Suppose it is 25 mm cover, 25 in cover portion you are not supposed to take any reading, because it is weak one. Okay, now can you see this, what I am doing? I am taking this first reading. Okay, you have to observe this here. Now what I am doing, just look. So this is my first reading. I am unlocking it, locked, and I have to now take this rebound value, exactly 30. It is exactly 30. Okay, so 30 will be written against the table in against 1. First position is rebound value is 30. Now what is its corresponding compressive strength? Now we have to see that middle graph, and here I will show you middle graph. This is the 30 value. Can you see this 30? And here compressive strength of 150 by 150 by 150 mm cube. So I will go through this 30, and where this graph ends here. So it is 28. So it is giving 28 Newton per mm square compressive strength. Okay. So it will be entered in the column. It is 28. 8 Newton per mm square. So likewise, you have to take all the reading. So second reading I will take somewhere here. Okay, another place. I am taking second reading. Okay. Now, what is the reading here? You can see 20 and 30 least count is 2. So it is 28. Can you see? It is 28. Rebound value is 28. So it will be written 28. Now, what is the compressive strength related to that? I have to go through this again. So 30 and this one more line is there, that is 38. So 25, 26, 27, 28, right? So I am going to take this line and here it is giving compressive strength 25 Newton per mm square. So see, there is a variation 25. Now I will take here at the bottom. Again the value is in between 29 to 30. So it we can take 30. Okay, so it is 30. So again for 30 already we have mentioned that for 30 it is 28 Newton per mm square. Okay, another place I can take where I should take at the top. Okay, at the top I am taking. No, something is wrong here. Should now here you can see at top position it is again 29. It is 29. So corresponding to 29, I am also will take here 29. Here it is almost 29. It is 29 Newton per mm square. It is 29 Newton per square. Value is 29 and strength is also 29. So 4 readings are over on this surface. So another 4 reading I am going to take on this surface. Okay. So I will take on this. Oh, it is something error is. Reading is, you can say 30 and 32. 2 is least count. So for value is 32 and for 32, this is 30, this is 31 and this is 32. So I will take this and middle value, middle graph. It is giving us again about 29. Okay. So the readings are 29 and 29 is rebound value, 32 is rebound value and 30 is compressive strength. Got it? Likewise, with this hammer, we are going to cover all the faces and top to bottom. So total, how many we are taken now? 5 readings we are taken. So likewise, we will be taking 12 reading and then we will calculate the average. So rest reading now I will be taking. Another face. Okay. So one reading I will take here. So what is the reading here? 32, 34, 36. So it is 36 and corresponding to 36, I can see here. So this is 35 and this is 36. So I will go up to the middle graph and it is 32. So value is 38, 36 and strength is 32. Earlier we had taken 5 reading, and now remaining 12 I have taken and entered here. You can see 6 reading is, it was value was 36, corresponding compressed reading was 32. Similarly 7th reading was 30, 28, 10th reading was 30, 28, and 12th reading it was 32 rebound value and 30 Newton per mm square is the compressive strength. Now what we are supposed to do? We have to take average of these 12 strengths. So there are 12 strengths. So 345 is the total and divided by 12. So compressive strength average is 28.75 and average rebound value also we will calculate. Average rebound value, it is denoted by R. So that will be the sum of these 12 divided by 10. So I will calculate that. So total of this 12 rebound value is 373 divided by 12, that is giving me rebound value 31. Okay, so we can say rebound value is 31 and total compressive or average compressive strength is 28.75 Newton per mm square. So this concrete is acceptable because at that time minimum RCC, for RCC they were using M15 concrete. That means minimum 15 Newton per mm square. Now this column, it is about 40 years old. So still it is giving 28.75. So it is above or near M30 concrete, in between M25 and M30 concrete. So without disturbing the column, we haven't disturbed it, we haven't broken it, we have not done any destruction. Can you see any destruction, any crack, any nothing? So without destruction we have tested it, and that's why it is non-destructive testing. And without breaking it or without chiseling it, I have taken reading, and I can surely comment that this column is excellent in condition. So that will be my conclusion. So likewise we have to give report to the audit. Okay, so this is all about this.